A teacher's remarks just shook me. So this is what she said. She said Mondays and Tuesdays were spent detoxing students after a weekend of heavy screen time. And I was shocked. I was like, what? Every parent needs to hear this. And so, if you're here today, this is what we're going to have an honest conversation about. We are not here to blame parents or blame teachers or blame technology, even. We love technology. We can't blame it, but
Yes.
we want to talk about healthy ways we can help our children thrive better in the classrooms and beyond in life in general. So, I have my guest here today with me, Mrs. Kenline. Thank you so
Hi.
much.
No problem.
Yes, for agreeing to do this with us. We had a few technical errors, so please bear with us, but we are in. So please, first of all, congratulations. I heard about the American Counseling Association. You got an award. Can you tell us a little bit about that before we get into the questions?
So I was just kind of messing around on their website, and for the master's program that I'm in, you have to be a part of the American Counseling Association because you are actually you have to get insurance through them to be able to meet with
Got it.
anyone, even if you're a student. And so you get on there and you get their insurance. Well, I started looking for scholarships because it's like this is costing me a lot of money.
Yep.
And so we I got on and it said, future counselor um, essay contest. And I said, well, I can write an essay, 500 words. I could whip that up really quickly.
Yep.
And so I keep saying we, I do not, I am not two, I am one. But so I just kind of got on there and I saw the topic, and the topic was, how do you think that screens are affecting schools? Well, that's something that I'm really passionate about. I mean, I have two
Yes.
two sons and they both have ADHD, and so the screen thing
Oh,
has been super real in my
yeah.
house.
Yeah.
And um so I just kind of started writing. And being in the classroom for almost 13 years, it is real, and
Yeah.
we see such a change after the big C,
Yeah.
um, that everybody had to be on screens all the time. And so I wrote down and I said, this is what's happening. I felt like it was like a detox, and I actually ended up getting second place on that. And it came with a money thing, but it also just came with just some recognition as to what we're
Yes.
seeing in the classroom, because it is a big deal. We're with their kids. We're with your kids for eight
Yeah.
hours a day. I
Yeah.
mean, of their awake hours.
Yes.
And those awake hours are a thing. I mean, we don't just sit there all
Yeah.
day,
Hmm.
especially where we are teaching a lot, and
Yes.
and we are having to get them to pay attention.
Woo! We're gonna get right into that. So when you
Yeah.
said, Mrs. Kelly, so when you said that you spent Mondays and Tuesdays detoxing the kids, can you please just tell us more about it? What does that look like?
So I actually figured this out a little bit a couple of years ago, but then it's really ramped up lately where they okay, and I know detox, people think like, bad things.
Hmm. Yeah.
I'm not detoxing them from those things. I'm detoxing them from their brains being so overstimulated. So on the weekends, it is easy to get, it's easy to get your kids to sit still. It's easy to get your kids to focus on something if it's on a screen.
Hmm.
And so, I mean, I've been guilty of it as well until I figured this out. But that when you want your kids to be quiet or you want your kids to go do something, you hand them a screen.
Yep.
And it seems so powerful in that moment that you are getting your quiet time. But what
Yes.
you're, what you're actually doing is you're rewiring your child's brain,
Mm.
and you're rewiring their brain to think that everything is instant, that everything is going to entertain them,
Mm.
and that they are just going to be stimulated all the time. So if a kid is bored, they go pick up an iPad. If a kid is bored, they go and ask their mom for their phone. If
Mhm.
a kid is bored, they watch TV. I mean, I'm a TV. I love watching Netflix and stuff like that, but I also am an adult that grew up without those things.
Yeah.
And so I got to see the before and the after kind of this effect. But in the classroom on Mondays, the kids are coming in extremely exhausted because they're either staying up all night because they found the iPad or they have a controller or they have a TV in their room.
Mhm.
But they're staying awake because these things are stimulating them and they're getting a little dopamine drip and it's fueling their souls. And
Mhm.
so on Mondays, when they come into, my classroom, for instance, I don't have a screen.
Yeah.
I don't have the ability as a human being to change my personality every 20 seconds, like a
Mhm.
YouTube short or
Mhm.
a TikTok. So if your kids are on those things, that's what they're doing. It's an instant gratification. And
Mhm.
so what I've noticed is on Mondays, I can't get anything done. It is like, okay, sit up straight, don't do this, don't do that, please be quiet, I'm teaching. Remember, we're in the 30th week of school, and I've asked you to sit up every single time that I start teaching this specific lesson. If
Mhm.
it's not interesting to you, I need you to find the one little thing that's interesting, and you need to just zone in and at least make it look like you're paying attention, please.
Mhm. Mhm.
I mean, I've even the words I am not going to change every 20 seconds have come out of my mouth. And
Oh.
and I've told them, I'm not going to stand up here and I'm not going to do cartwheels and I'm not going to keep you entertained. I mean, I'm, naturally hilarious. So sometimes it just comes off as, oh, that was a really fun lesson because Miss Kenline made us laugh.
Yeah.
But it's not that is not every moment of every
And this
day.
and this happens especially on Mondays and Tuesdays when they've
Yes.
had all that screen. They've been
Yes.
sitting down for hours on screen time over the weekend, and then they come. And my question, so Miss Caroline, so do you see a difference between kids who actually are not using as much screens and then those who do? Do you see a difference in how they behave and in the classroom, their attention span?
Uh-huh. So it is very apparent. Like I did a little study in my class. I didn't tell anybody I was doing this, but I did a little thing where I asked the kids, "What'd you do last night?"
Yeah,
And they just freely tell me, "What'd you do
yeah,
last night?"
yeah.
"Oh, well, I played video games with my dad." "That's great. You spent time with your dad. You should be playing basketball outside or throwing a baseball or running or doing things like that with your dad because that's probably what dad really wants to do anyways."
Yeah.
But these things were coming up very, very, very often
Mhm.
where, even if you give your kids screen time during the week, if you don't minimize it and put a routine with it, or if you don't reduce it and put a rule, like tonight you're only going to have 30 minutes of screen time.
Mhm.
I know you need to like water your plants or whatever the kids are doing these days, but I know you need to do those things on your phone because you feel like you have to, but you also have to do your homework.
Yeah.
So, what I started with my kids was a must do and a may do. So, we would have our must do things as soon as we got home from work because we were already in that mode.
Yeah.
And so, if you get your kids out of that mode of, I need to work, then I mean, think about us as adults. We veg out or we lay on the couch or we like, as soon as I sit down, I'm done.
Yeah. True.
But but if I get home and I'm like, okay, I got to start the laundry, do the dishes, do this, do that, do this, do
Just
that.
continue. Just no
Yeah.
break. Just like just
Like if you
continue
just
with him.
continue and say,
Mhm.
hey, I need to do 30 minutes of homework before I may do anything.
Mm. I
So
like
you
that.
you you have this little circle, this is your homework, these are your chores that are in here. These
Yeah.
have to get done.
These have to be done
You
before
have to
you go
be
rest or play or do anything.
right. You
Got it.
have to be a functioning member of this society,
Yeah.
which is in our house,
Yeah.
before you can be a functioning member of society at all.
Yes.
Because
Yes. I
your
love
home
it.
is your comfort, right? And so if you're coming home and if your kids are crashing out when they get home and they're yelling at you and you know, let them let them get that out for 10 or 15 minutes and then be like, all right, you still got to do your homework. You don't hand them an iPad and say, I'm so sorry that you are tired. You have things that you have to do. You have responsibilities. I think that responsibility has has left.
Yeah.
Well, my parents made me do that, and so I was abused. No, you weren't.
No.
You
No.
were taught how to be a functioning member of society.
Mm. Yeah.
And my kids, they hate it, but like I'm like, your feelings are valid, but your feelings are opinions.
Yeah.
This is my house. I pay the bills.
And you
Until
are
you pay the
kids.
yeah, until you pay the bills, you're gonna do what I say. But
You
it,
know,
it just
this is one of the things. This is another one of the reasons why. Because, like you said, this is my house, right? They'll be like, "Well, all my friends, but all my friends get to do this, but all my friends are always on
I
screen, and
am
all my
not
friends."
your friend's mama.
So that's parents out there. We're not, I love. Look, I have 4 kids. I give them screen time. We're not saying
Yes.
like we're
I'm
not
not
saying
anti like
no, we're not. But it's gotten to a point where I feel like even my kids' friends, it's putting the stress on my kids because like, hey, we're not doing this in my home. Mondays to Thursdays, we don't do any screens at all. I don't care what anybody said. We don't do any screens because even though we don't do a lot of screen time, I still see the effect of when you take their screens away after they have had screen time. So they have like an hour, 2 hours of screen time, and you take the screen away. Oh my gosh, it's like it's crazy. And now
oh,
they're in a
they
better
can't.
place. 'Cause now I've told them we've gotten to a better place where they're like, okay, we know if we don't behave after screen time is over, that's it. We're not gonna get it again. So now we
No.
don't misbehave after
Right.
screen time is over. But I believed you, Mrs. Kenline, when you said that you had to detox them on Mondays and Tuesdays because I see the effects that that even just 2 hours has on them. So I can't imagine when they have like 5 or 7 hours of screen and come to school on a Monday or a Tuesday. And parents
Well,
out
yeah.
there, if you have any tricks or whatever you are doing to manage screen time in your home, drop it in the comments. Would love to know. If you have any questions for Mrs. Caroline, drop it in the chat. We would love to know that as well. So I want to ask you another question, Mrs. Caroline. So are you
Okay.
seeing like a difference in reading stamina, writing ability, like imagination? Are students struggling more now than they were in the past?
So I love that you said the imagination part because when you think of a kid, okay, like we read rich literature, so like Peter Pan,
Yeah.
and he's from Neverland. Like I when I was little, I wanted to be Tinkerbell, where I'd
Yeah.
fly around and just be in a bad mood all the time. But it, I noticed this 4 years ago in the classroom. The kids didn't have an imagination.
Mm.
It was almost blind obedience to where they expected me to tell them everything that they needed to know, everything that they needed to do, and how to do it. It was exhausting. And there's another thing too that I can't believe I'm going to say this, but I'm going to. Kids are mischievous,
Yeah.
and they're supposed to be
Yeah.
because as a kid, your mischievousness is small, and it's almost sweet.
Yeah.
Um, because I'm like, why are you doing that? And then I'll tell them, hey, don't do that. Let's do something that is fun, but
Yeah.
not against someone. Like, we don't have to have a sick heart when we're doing this, okay?
Mhm.
But the mischievousness and the manipulation is gone. So to me, manipulation
Really?
and yes, manipulation, mischievousness is problem solving when I really get down to the base level of what those things are. So when you are trying to manipulate a situation to get what you want, you, you're problem solving.
Yeah.
You're coming up with
Your
all of these
brain is
ways
working.
to convince someone to
Yeah.
sell them on something. But I noticed with my 12-year-old, he was convincing me that he needed screen time.
Yep.
And I said, no, you don't. And I called it a drug. I was like, this is like a drug. This is like an addict going in on me. as the parent trying to convince me that they need their drug.
Yeah.
And I mean, that is, it seems extreme,
No,
but
I
he had lost himself. He was like this little shell of a person. And I'm like, what happened to you opening the locked door with the hood of a Matchbox car?
yeah,
I mean, that's how he would get into things. Like he would figure it out, and he was like a little
yeah,
engineer, and that was
yeah.
gone. That was completely gone. And I'm like, oh,
Oh my
So
gosh.
it was this switch from fiction, which is what they're doing on the phones. They're playing games. Like, yeah, oh, I'm talking to my friends. Your friend lives two doors down. Go play with
Yeah,
your friend.
don't play. Mhm.
So he had lost the difference between reality and fiction
Oh boy.
to where he couldn't bring himself back into reality of like, hey, I have to get along with my siblings. I have to obey my parents. I need to go to school and pay attention. That was gone. And so I'm like, oh,
Oh,
we don't do screens on Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday nights.
same.
And it has
Same.
been a struggle. It has been a struggle.
Oh,
And
amen. Same
but
here.
and it's been a struggle getting my husband to do it, because
Yeah.
we need to be, because we're busy.
We are roll. Yeah. Yeah.
But I don't want to teach my kids that when I'm busy, you are numb.
Oh, that's good. Because
When I
that's the
am,
excuse. That's the
yes,
excuse that most parents we're given, we're permitting ourselves to have now is that hey, I have this work email, I have this meeting. The only way you will be quiet and allow me to focus on my work is here you go with the iPhone, here you go with the tablet, right?
and if yeah, and if you have, an 11 or 12-year-old right now, they were in kindergarten
Yeah.
when they were forced to be on a screen,
Yeah.
and I taught on a screen, and I was with my kids online every day at
Oh,
9:15, having snack with them.
oh,
20 kids just pop, 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 pop. And I'm like, hi. Oh.
oh
And,
goodness.
I've got my kindergartner on a screen trying to read. I've got a baby on my hip and a 3-year
Oh,
old running around like
oh,
doing God knows what. And,
mm, mm.
we were in survival mode. Okay, we
Oh my
survived
goodness.
that. Now let's not be in survival mode
Mm,
anymore.
no,
And that
no.
was what was hard because he was 5 and 6 years old.
Oh
And
my goodness.
that's where his little brain was being intricately wired for school because he was in kindergarten.
Yeah,
And it was just a very difficult time, but we can't use it as an excuse.
we cannot. Mm-mm, mm-mm.
And we can't be like, well, during that, okay, well now they're 12 and they're little terrors,
Yeah.
or like they can't stop being disrespectful. They can't turn it off. Um, Another thing that
Oh
I
my
heard
gosh.
about screens when I was doing some research for school was that um, if you give a child that, I'm just going to talk about diagnosed ADHD, not if
Okay.
you think, okay, but this might resonate with some parents that kid with ADHD, an iPad or a phone. Can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. If you give them something like that,
Mm.
that is releasing this dopamine in their brains to want more. And that's just how it is.
Yeah.
Well, they did a study where they had an actual, like a drug addict and a child that was diagnosed ADHD, and they hooked up all the little doodads to their brains, and they gave them the drug of choice
Yeah.
and the
The screen.
screen.
Yeah.
Their brains were reacting the exact same way.
Same. Oh my goodness.
Yes, and that is a study. I mean, you could look it up, but it's one of those things where that's what we're doing to our kids. And we as parents are choosing to do that to them. And so when my children got diagnosed, I'm like, oh my gosh, I have got to. Well, and I mean, same with me too. Like I find myself. I mean, I got diagnosed with ADHD when I was 37, but I noticed these patterns in my life of getting hyper fixated on things, and screens are huge. And you know, even just with the attention span thing, like people are saying that, ADHD is on the rise. Everybody has ADHD. Everybody does this. It's not that everybody has ADHD or doesn't have ADHD. It's
Uh-huh.
that we live in such an overstimulated society that everyone's overstimulated.
Mm.
If
Mm.
you actually have that, there are many things that you can do and medication and right to help your children. But giving them screens does not help them.
Mm-mm. It does
It's
not.
it's
It does not.
it's not a medication. You're causing another symptom is what you're doing.
Yeah, and some would say, well, we get you. Yes, and we see it. And I'm sure most parents, if we are honest with each other, we will confess that yes, we do see that
I've
reaction.
done
I,
it.
I will confess it. I have 4 kids, even my littlest, even my 2-year-old. He loves, like, it's so scary. And this is our family. We really are not huge on screens. We really try to put so much of boundaries around, but we still see it. So I know that if you're a parent out there, you will bear test, you will bear witness with us that what we are talking about is so real that we see the effects of screens on our children when it's taken away. It's mind blowing. So let's talk about some of the ways we can actually um, deal with screens better so we can help our children to thrive better. I have this question here. So, how can screens support creativity rather than replace it? So, where do teachers genuinely appreciate like technology in their class, right? Because it's not all doom and gloom. We know, we are thankful for technology, right? So, what are some of the ways that as a teacher, you appreciate some of the technology in your classroom?
Well, so I have been with a school that we don't have technology
Okay,
as like individually for the students.
yeah.
We do a math. I just said that we have a math program that we do on the computer. But honestly, I had a class of 14 boys, and we took that away
Yeah.
because it was at the very end of the day and they're getting on these screens, and the person that teaches that class and I was like, what do we do? They're so mad. And it was affecting these kids in a way that I could not. I could, are
Okay,
you
you're
there?
back. Yes,
Sorry.
you're back.
Oh, I'm so sorry. um I couldn't get ready to go home because they were so mad at this computer game that
Oh
they,
my.
at the end of the day, they were, I lost them.
Oh
And
my.
so we switched back to paper because I'm like, I can't do this. It's making me so that I like don't miss them
Mm,
when they leave.
yeah.
And
Yeah.
so we did that. So
So
listen,
Mrs. Kenline, this is
I love screens.
this is the school you were in, right? But in other schools, and I am a no, my kid, right? When I took one of my kids to another school for a while, and
Right.
they gave them iPads in the class. I mean, that was the highlight of his day. Okay, if you ask me, hey, what? It's like, yeah, we got the iPad and we did this, and then I think in fourth grade they allowed the kids to take the iPads home. So I'm like, okay, what is like? That's my next question. Is like, what what's the role that school, because I feel like now it's great, and that's the thing we're saying, that it's so great. Some kids are doing amazing things with technology, it's great, but how can we better, even for the school systems that are allowing, because for the school you were in, you guys were able to take that away, but other schools are literally giving them the iPads and like having them take it home. What do we have to say about that?
I think that technology is ever changing.
Yeah.
I think that the way that a child's brain is formed is not ever changing. And so if you are only teaching through an iPad and then you're sending it home, I mean, it doesn't make any sense to me because that's going to change.
Yeah.
So as teachers and as a school, I think it's important that parents kind of fight against it.
Mm,
Um, I think that it's important that you advocate for your child. I mean, if you're not telling your teacher, hey, I don't like the way my kid acts on this, and we're not going to do it.
Yeah.
And if you're not advocating against it, you're just part of the problem.
Yeah.
And I think that, if enough parents, we all know it's happening.
We know.
We all
We
know.
know. We know.
And it I didn't learn how to do computer skills until I was in high school.
Yeah.
Because I didn't have to.
Mm-hmm.
I was writing. I was doing cursive. My handwriting is beautiful. But we were just we were doing all of these things because technology was changing.
Yeah.
And by the time I got to high school, we were typing up papers. That's great.
Yeah.
It's easier. You can read everybody's handwriting because it's Times New Roman, whatever.
Yeah.
But if technology is ever changing, but people aren't, and the way that they are formed and the way that they are made are not changing,
Mm-hmm.
why are we trying to change them?
Mm-hmm. I love
Uh, It's rewiring the brain.
it. Mm-hmm.
And I
Mm-hmm.
mean, I use AI, I use all that stuff,
Yeah. Yeah.
but I also know
What they say is, yeah, we are preparing the children for the future by exposing them and giving them all this
but
technology. But
the future is going to be
parents,
different.
yeah, it's gonna be different. It's evolving, just like you're saying. It's always
Right.
evolving, and they don't need that practice now. Right now, they need the basics. They need to play outside. They need to bond with friends, fight with friends, right? And that's another thing I want us to talk about as parents at home. So we spoke about school, what we can do as schools, and this is gonna be a bigger conversation because there's only so much interview can do. But if you're listening, we want you to start advocating for your child. Don't be just the parents that drops their kid off to school and picks them up and be very removed from what's actually happening in the
Well,
school. Because
and
that's
then
what's
complain
happening
about
now.
it.
That's what's happening now. We just
Well, and then
Mhm.
and parents are complaining about it,
They are.
but they're not advocating for what they believe in. They're fighting against the teacher. The teacher doesn't have.
No, it's not a teacher.
No, we're
Yeah.
told what to do.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so it if you don't like something, it's not the teacher's fault.
Yeah. Yeah.
I mean, yes, there are some teachers out there that are not the best, but don't fight your kid's teacher.
Yeah. Don't fight your kid's teacher. It's not
I
the teacher.
promise we are trying so hard to do our best, and your kid does not know how to do his best. I'm trying to teach him.
Yeah.
So if your child is coming home saying something and you don't say, "Oh, my kid said this," you're saying that to an adult
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
that knows exactly what your kid is doing
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
and then fighting against them.
No. Mm-mm.
No, your kid is playing you.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh boy.
Okay, you were going to ask me about home. Sorry, I keep
Um.
derailing.
No. 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 Our hope is not lost. Parents, we got this. Thank God we are in this generation together. We're gonna fight this together. We're gonna help our children have a fun, wonderful upbringing, childhood, right? That they can look back on and really reminisce. Because right now, children will look back on their childhood and remember, oh yeah, I played games, or I. It's right now. That's the conversation, and that breaks my heart. Is even when they are playing outside, most of the conversation is still about, hey, Roblox or Minecraft or like, and I'm like, so you guys don't want to talk about anything, even whilst you're playing outside. Sometimes you're still bringing the game out there to play together. It's heartbreaking, parents. We need to be
I,
creative and
so I
find
use
ways to.
I use this example, a lot. We have birthday parties at our house, and my son will bring up, like, he'll say, "Oh, I want to invite 25 kids." I'm like, "Oh, 25 kids. Okay, they're 12-year-old boys. No, it's gonna smell weird, whatever." So, but I take phones. And because we have a baseball team, and the baseball team does not go to the school that we go to. And then we have the kids from the school that we go to, and they're not on screens. And the conversations are different. And
Really?
I noticed this at his birthday 2 years ago, because we've been doing the combined birthday parties where it's like his baseball friends and then his school
Yeah.
friends,
Yeah.
to where, I mean, literally, I looked over, we were watching a football game, and I looked over at the kids from our school, and they're all talking about stats and where the kids go to college. and if they would want to go to that college, and don't get me started on college, but the like we were just I was listening to their conversations, and they were having rich conversations about things.
Uh-huh.
And then I look over at the baseball team, and half of them are on their phone, or they're like rolling on the floor doing. I'm like, what are you doing? Or they're like with each other, or they're not having conversation at all. And I'm like, what's the difference? And it's the
Wow.
screen, it's the screens. And we'll
Yeah.
go out to dinner with all of our baseball friends, and all the kids are on screens. And I look at mine, and I'm like, no.
No.
And
No.
and our kids are different, and but I'm okay with it, because then I get the people that say, wow, I was able to have like an adult conversation with your 12-year-old. That was weird.
Yeah.
And I'm like, not about adult things, just
No, no,
a
no.
back and forth conversation about life.
Yeah.
And he's asking questions, and he wants to know these things. And it's so funny to me that that is the difference.
Oh, that breaks my heart because the difference also is that most of the public schools, even like we have more public schools than any other kind of schools, and if majority of these schools we are exposing our children to screens, and we're gonna have this kind of children, parents, please, this is time for us to really seriously do something, advocate. Like I feel like what if you have a problem at work, right? We put all our creative imaginations. We do whatever it is to make our directors, our managers, like we will do whatever. But when it comes to parenting, we kind of just take a backseat approach. It's time to rise up. Do not take a backseat approach to this screen and parenting because it's getting out of hands. Our children are not getting the kind of upbringing that will help them to thrive as adults. They
They're
need
not
that.
getting
They need
vitamin
that from
D.
us. What was
They're
that?
not getting vitamin D.
Gosh. And parents, so this question, okay, so this question, right? So what after okay, what routines reset kids after heavy screen exposure? So how can parents themselves model healthy technology use? Because if we as the parents we're always, and I'm guilty. I'm not. No, we're all guilty, especially with work emails on phones now. Goodness, God help us. We have our work emails popping up all the time on the screens. Like work is on the phone now. Is that kids see us and they see us on the phone. Sometimes I literally will have to show my kids the phone, like, hey, look, I'm not like I'm working on the phone, which is it doesn't even excuse it. But all I'm saying is we have to also try to model right better behavior. And if you live in a neighborhood, that's another thing I realized was neighborhoods now we're all so isolated. It's just us and our families. We're not getting to know our neighbors. Even if you don't have kids in your neighborhoods, you have adults that your kids can still like we have our next door neighbor, Grandpa Jim. Our kids, they go to him, they play games with him, they love him, we love him. Like you have to open yourself up to your community because that's the only way your kids
Yes.
will be able to play outside with your neighbors. Please get out. Get we're look, human beings, we're nothing. I feel like we're all so high and mighty now. Like I'm all this. We're nothing. We're nothing. And our time on earth is so short. And we must make the most of it. And that includes helping our children thrive. That means doing whatever you can, using your creativity, becoming friends with your neighbors, allowing your friends to go and play in the community. That's so huge for me because every neighborhood we've been in, my husband and I, we make sure we foster that community where kids. So our home, like all the kids in the neighborhood come to play in my house, right? And it's not because like I'm not tired or I'm not busy, but I
But they're not
want
playing
them
on
to
video
be
games.
kids. No, no,
But that's it. You want them to be playing.
yes,
When I take the phones at a birthday party, and I've got a projector showing the game, and I've got like all these technology things set up, as soon as I take that phone out of their hand, you know what they're doing? They're outside playing football.
yep,
And that's what they did for 3 hours. They
wow,
played outside. They didn't want to sit in front of the TV.
mm-mm.
They wanted to play a game on their phone, but I was like, put it down.
Yeah, yeah.
And they respect me enough to do that. But I can't say that all kids respect me, but they respected me enough at that time to be like,
It does.
oh, okay, fine, here. But then I had another parent tell me, "Oh my gosh, they came. What did y'all do?" He came home and said that it was the best birthday party he's ever been to.
Yes.
I'm like, we didn't do anything. We ate
Yeah,
pizza and they played football. Like,
yeah. I want to
hey,
talk about boredom. I want to talk about allowing our children to be bored because I think that's one of the things. Yeah,
yes,
let's. I have a quote here. I want to read that quote, and then Mrs. Kelly quotes about allowing our children to be bored. How good boredom is for children, and this is by clinical psychologist. So this is Dr. Stephanie Lee, a clinical psychologist, and this is what she says. She's like, the truth is that it is okay for kids to be bored. In fact, skills. For starters, it helps kids build tolerance of less than ideal circumstances, right? So life requires us to manage our frustrations and regulate our emotions when things aren't going our way. And boredom is a great way to teach that skill. Like, allow your children to be bored. And this is another quote. I'm just reading two quotes and then I'm done. Boredom, this is by Jody Musoff, and this is an educational specialist at the Child Mind Institute. And this is what she says: boredom also helps children develop planning strategies, problem solving skills, flexibility, and organizational skills. Key abilities that children whose lives are usually highly structured may lack. It's not the boredom itself that helps children acquire these skills, it's what they do with the boredom. Typically, kids don't plan their days, right? But when they work on a project to fill their time, they have to create a plan, organize their materials, and solve problems. Developing these skills helps children better manage a variety of academic tasks, such as planning for long term assignments and flexibility when working on group projects and social skills in the future. So, it's okay. Like, let's allow our children to be bored. Like, my mommy, I'm bored.
yes.
Excellent. Do whatever you want to do. I don't.
I'm like, oh, you're bored? You want me to find something for you to do? Here's a broom.
Here's a broom. I like that.
They don't tell me they're bored anymore. They find something to do. Because if you ask me, you're getting a chore. You think I'm
I love
bored?
it. I love it. Chores. Let's also talk about chores. Because if children have chores, they will not be as bored. So, parents out there, if you're not giving your children chores, basic chores to do at home, we're really harming them. It takes, chores is just, my children are all boys, but I cook with them. I don't even see boys. I just see human beings who are part of this family who, you're part of the home. So the home has to be clean. I'm not your house help. I'm not your maid. We're gonna keep the house clean together. We're gonna cook together. We're gonna do everything together. We have chickens. You're gonna feed the chickens. Craig says, "Here is the broom."
Sorry, sorry. I've made
I
students do
love
that before too, and I didn't get complaints from the parents. The kid said, "Oh, they stopped their shoes in the hallway," and I said, "Oh, who do you think is going to clean that up?" And at the time, it was this man custodian, and they're like, "Oh, David," and I said,
it.
"What?" I said, "Oh, I'm sure that you think at home too that your mom is going to clean it up. So you know what you're going to do? Wait right there." I went and I found David. I said, "Do you have two brooms?" And he said, "Yeah, I'll be right there." I said, "Oh, no, 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 I just need the brooms." And he said, "For what?" I'm like, "Don't worry about it. Just give me the brooms." And so I took the brooms and I put them in front of the two boys and I said, "Sweep from the end of the hallway to right here."
Good.
And they looked at me like,
What?
I said, "You just told
This
me
is
that it was
child
somebody."
abuse.
Yes, you just told me that somebody else was supposed to clean up the mess that you just made.
Mm-hmm.
I need you to clean up all the mess now because somebody else thought that, but you're the
I
one that
wish,
said
I
it.
wish, I wish more teachers would do this. Honestly, and if you're a teacher,
Well,
please.
it'll be pushback from the parents, but then it's
All
like,
right.
but I did tell the student, you know what I said, and this is how I got the parents to agree with me. I said, you know what that tells me too is that at home when you drop stuff on the floor, you think it's your mom's job to pick it up. And he kind of looked at me and I said, "Who cleans up after you at home?" And you're like, "Mom." I said, "You know what? When you see your mom sweeping, grab the broom."
Mm.
And that was a thing that whole school year. I mean, I have something with every year with my kids, but
Yeah.
that school year, it was like, "Hey, you see something that needs to be done, grab the broom.
Do it. Do it.
Just grab the broom." And so that just became a saying that we had in my class. And I can tell you that I probably had 5 or 6 moms. "I don't know what you're doing with them at school, but please keep it up. Like they're cleaning up their room. They're doing that." And I'm like, "Yeah, just tell them grab the broom." And then they'll know that we're a team. But be a team with your kids teacher,
Yes, I love it.
because I am influential to them to where if you tell me they're not doing something at home, I could tell them at school to do it
Yeah,
and they'll do it.
and don't do it. Yeah, true.
And so it's a
Don't
partnership.
fight
It's
them with
not
your
it,
teacher.
yeah, no,
Don't
it's
fight
not.
them. They are
And
part
we're
of
not
you.
against you. We need your help.
Yeah, yeah. I love it. I love it. Thank you so much, Mrs. Kenline. I think we're gonna have to come back for a part two. But before we go, I know that you have an exciting project coming up. Would you mind, please share the juice with us, share the details with us?
Okay, so in the middle of the night, one night, I was kind of like sitting there thinking, like, what am I supposed to do with my life?
Yeah.
And I was like, I just feel like there's more. And the Lord met me so sweetly while my kids are sleeping, and I'm so quiet in my house. And um, when I was younger, I used to hate going on the back porch to talk to my dad about what I had done, and like, so I hated going on the back porch when he would say, "Let's go have a talk." I'm like, ugh. Um, and so I want to redeem the
The
porch,
porch. I
and I
love
want to
it.
make the porch a cool place. So I had thought, I live super close to the school, and I wanted the kids to have a place to come. And so I thought of having the porch. I'm getting my master's in clinical mental health, and so I will be an LPC at one point, um, in the near future. And so I thought that it would be really cool to have a place where they could come and just kind of be.
Mm.
It would be with no screens,
Yeah.
and
Oh
you know
yeah.
there there's a batting cage my husband's putting up, and then we have chickens, and there's just like, so not like a therapy center, but like just a chill place.
I love it.
Um, until I get that my LPC and I can do that on my own. I'm probably going to do some tutoring like that,
Mm.
and have, um, if you're having trouble in class or whatever and you need a tutor, like, okay, let's go to the porch and we can
Yeah.
do our homework, and it will be monitored, and it won't be with screens, and it won't be with AI, and they can bounce ideas off of each other, and they can learn peer conflict, and they can learn how to argue their point, and they can learn how to do all of these things that we want them to do,
Yeah.
but in a setting. And it I was looking for counseling for one of my children, and that's kind of what sent me to school. That was part of the reason, is because it was $180 an hour, and then my kid goes and doesn't even talk. It's like, okay. So I want to be able to bless families the way that we have been
Oh,
blessed as
bless
a
your
family,
heart. Oh, God
and
bless you.
and do like a membership instead of
Mm.
a an hourly rate. So it would be, say it's, an on average $200 an hour for a counselor. It would be
Mm.
$200 a month for five
Wow.
sessions, or I'm sorry, 250. So it would be like $50 per session, but you get
Yeah.
five.
Yeah.
And so
Wow.
5 tutoring sessions or 5 counseling sessions at that point, once I get there, um, would be pretty cool. And it would be group or individual. And so it's an idea right now. I'm hopefully about to spark up the
I
tutoring
love
part of
it.
it. But
I love it. I love it, Mrs. Caroline. God bless your heart. You have such a heart for children. And I'm just so glad that you even came here to do this with us. And I pray blessings on the porch. I'm definitely going to come visit the porch
hey,
too.
after hours, it might be like a place to have a nice glass of wine or something, that like just a hangout place. But
I
yeah,
love it. I love it. I love
it's
it.
gonna be
Bless
it's
your
gonna be
heart.
cool. I think it's gonna bring a lot of fruit to the community, and just the community of kids. Like, let's play.
I love it. I love it.
and
That's
not
what
on
I'm saying. Like
screens.
the kids, I think we need this. We need, communities like the Porch, right? For after school, because after school it's either screens or this is a great enrichment for children after school. It's providing counseling, tutoring, all the things in the package. So God bless you for availing
Well,
yourself.
and I want parents to know that like it's not just a place. It's a livelihood. I mean, you can do this at your house.
You can.
Like
You
you can
can.
do this as a parent. You can play
Yeah.
basketball with your kids, play pig
Yeah.
with your spelling words, or like you can think of these ideas. And if you need any, just hit me up, let me know, because I will give you 1,000 ideas of things that we've had to do for homework. But
Yeah.
um it just
I like that. So I like that. Before we end, I think we should help parents. So we've spoken a lot. Just before we end, let's give parents off our mind, tops of our mind, screen free activities that they could do with their kids, no matter the ages, or maybe within different ages. I can start with some of what we practically do, and then Miss Kenline, you come in as well with what you do with your family. So for me, because I have all boys, we're always mostly outside. The boys, can only color for so long, maybe like 2 seconds, and then that's it.
I've got one
So
that'll
we're
draw a truck 57 different ways.
I love it. Yeah, but we're out bicycling and schooling and just playing with friends, allowing their friends to come over, jumping the trampoline, doing chores. That's an excellent screen-free activity that you should definitely let your kids do. My kids do so many chores, and they're
Uh-huh.
literally 6, 7, and 8 years old, and a 2 year old. Even the 2 year old has his chores. He packs the you take the spoons and the knives into the drawers. He puts
That's so
shoes
cute.
away. Like no kid is too little to start a chore. Like give all
No.
your kids chores. That's excellent screen-free activity for your kids. And then let them also be bored and let them come up with things to do by themselves. Let them fight if they have siblings. Let them do whatever. Let them resolve their own arguments. Like let's allow kids to be kids. We don't need to train them for the future by giving them screens and iPads and all these
And
things,
watching
right?
other people do it.
Goodness, watching other people. I know. I was like, why would
Open
someone
presents.
play games and comments? I'm like, well, what's the point? I don't get it. Why are you watching someone playing games and commenting on it? Like, why don't like? I'd rather prefer you. Honest, I'll prefer you playing it than watching someone play it and comment.
I'm gonna watch this kid play with this toy. That's weird. I bought you that toy. It's outside. You should go play with it.
And then the last thing I want to say, my husband he's excellent. He loves woodworking so much as well. And we are trying to set up, I told you, Mrs. Caroline, a woodworking club where we teach kids like basic, like kids don't even know how to use hammers. Okay, my kids from 5 years, they are building things. They can use hammers and saw drills. They can build crosses and boxes and allowing them to have this basic like life skills instead of
Yes.
being on screen. So look out for that as well. It's gonna be called the art. Children can come in and learn hand. Yes, Mrs. Caroline is like, yes, let's do
I
it.
love it. I'm like, my kids will be in that club.
Yes, yes. I told my husband, like, sign Mrs. Caroline's kids up. They're gonna be
Yes.
in
I
it.
want them to do stuff with their hands. My husband owns a landscape company and nobody works. It's like nobody gets dirty with their hands. And so I tell my kids all the time, I'm like, be a plumber.
Yeah,
You,
exactly.
you can you can charge $200 an hour
So much money, right? So
because
much.
nobody
So
wants to
anyway,
do it. It's like,
get your
but
kids
everybody
on the
wants to be
screens.
everybody wants to be an influencer. What are you going to influence people? How to log into Instagram? Sorry, I'm
Okay.
sorry. That's a
Last
whole
words.
nother.
Last words, Mrs. Caroline, before we leave. What do you want to be remembered for this interview? We're gonna come back. This wasn't enough. We didn't have enough time. We'll come back. But this is any last comments before we go. We're gonna pray for all parents and pray for schools and just pray for the system that we're in now. But last words before we go.
I think it's super important to advocate for your kids.
Mhm.
Um, because you are your kid's biggest advocate.
Yeah.
Um, don't advocate against a person,
Mhm.
advocate against something that you don't want for your kids.
Yeah.
And it's not the people.
Mm-mm.
It's the iPads, the screens, if you don't want those things for your kids, then say something. And if
Yeah.
you don't, nobody else is going to, they're just going to keep doing what they're doing, because if it ain't
Mhm.
broke, don't fix it, you know?
Yeah.
But instead of being part of the problem by complaining, be a part of the solution.
I love
That's
it.
all. I mean,
I love it. Be a
that,
part of the solution. I love it. I love it. And would you mind closing us out in prayer? And I could pray as
sure.
well. Are you comfortable?
Yeah,
Okay.
I'm comfortable.
Okay.
Um, Lord, thank you for this sweet time.
Thank you,
And,
Jesus.
and I just hope that your heart and your what you want, your plan for these children are going to be lived out through
Yes,
their
Lord.
parents, because
Yes, Lord.
you have given them the ability to parent their children.
Yes,
And it is
Jesus.
hard. Yes, it is hard. But
Oh gosh.
when parents look at you for the ultimate guidance, and look at you for just how you love your children and how we can love our children well, and make sure that, in the thick of everything, that we are looking to you for that guidance. And Lord, I just thank you for this time and this platform to be able to blast this out. um, I thank you for boldness and outgoingness, and just this beautiful space to be able to just speak freely and to
Yes,
hopefully
Lord.
help. Um, it is it is you who gives us all of those things, and so I
Yes,
just pray that
Lord.
we continue to move forward with all of the goodness that you have for us, and that we
Yes,
have the
Lord.
eyes to see what is good for us, for our kids, for
Yes, Lord.
everyone involved in the day to day hustle and bustle. So thank you so much for everything that you have given us, and the open doors and even the
Yes,
closed
Lord.
doors.
Yes, Lord, in Jesus' name, Lord, amen. Thank you.
Amen.
Thank you so much. Amen. Thank you so much, Mrs. Kenline. This was
Hey,
wonderful. God bless you for agreeing to join us here today. Parents, if you have any questions, comments, you can send us emails, message me later, and hopefully we'll get Mrs. Kenline back again. So y'all
anytime.
have, yes, have a wonderful spring break, screen free spring break.
The
Yes.
struggle.
And
Your
Happy
teachers
New
will thank
Year.
you.
Okay, bye.
Bye.